Irakli, thank you for coming here.
Thanks for the invite, man.
You are
Really,
on the way to Georgia, back to Georgia. It's
Yes,
nice that we
tomorrow.
managed to make it work.
I'm happy that we had this opportunity and you got in touch with me in the right time. So
Yeah.
we figured it out to make it work.
Yeah, very happy to. Thank you.
Same here.
So you live in Georgia. You're from Georgia. What is one of the first good memories you have about your country and partying there, or getting close to music there?
Okay, so first time, actually I started partying very early because I started this journey really early as well. I was 11, but yeah, it was just production days
Wow.
until I became 14. Then some people in Georgia gave me opportunity. There is a club in Tgoarze, which is still working, and it was like one of the first like really good clubs in Georgia. And they gave me an opportunity to learn DJing at their place before the parties. So after this, I would stay at the parties. At first, I would not understand what was going on because I was 14,
Yeah.
and mostly there was like 21 plus people. But then it started to come in. Then I started playing my gigs as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my first experience.
Mhm.
And with the techno, I would say I first went to Hidi with my classmates actually. Yeah, I was still 17 then, but as I was a producer, they would let me in. So
Wow.
yeah, I really enjoyed this first time. Was
Yeah.
much rougher techno than I do now, but nice experience to see what techno is about. All this energy, like good vibes and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good experience with the music.
And before Hidi, you were playing dubstep. You were producing dubstep.
Yeah, yeah.
And playing dubstep too as a DJ.
Yes, yeah.
So interesting.
But after this, I had some time, like 1 or 2 years maybe, when I was not feeling dubstep anymore, because in Georgia there was no proper scene of dubstep. So I guess when there is not proper scene of something around you, it also does not motivate you to continue doing it, maybe. But I was a kid then, so.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
I'm
yeah.
impressed. 14. So the club you were playing at was a night during the night?
Yeah.
Okay. So in Rome, where I'm from, like you have clubs in the afternoon, like from 4 p.m.
Yeah,
to 8
I
p.m.
have heard it actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is lots of illegal parties as well, I
A
guess.
lot of illegal there used to be a lot of illegal parties. I come from that scene too. Like,
Uh-huh.
but those were like I remember I started playing in raves when I was 16, 17 in illegal raves. They were at
Yeah.
night. But before I was going to these clubs, but they were like in the afternoon,
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah.
It does not bring the same vibe, I guess. Like even when you go to Berghain on a day,
Yeah.
when it gets night, for me it's much more comfy.
You like it more?
Yeah, because like last time when I was there, I went at 3
Yeah.
in the daytime,
Uh-huh.
and it was so sweaty.
Yeah.
I just cannot do anything in that time, I guess.
Yeah.
And also in the summer. Now we are also in a
Pretty
bad
warm.
situation, I
Yeah.
think.
We're trying not to sweat. Like,
Yeah. But yeah, this place is like pretty chill without
Yeah.
even the AC. So.
well, we're very lucky. Yeah. Just a quick word before we go back to the interview. Thank you so much for watching or listening to the podcast. I'm Joseph.
And this is the HoS Sound Studio.
If you enjoy this content, please consider liking and commenting on this very episode, and also following us on the platform where you listen to or you watch the podcast, but also follow us on social media. And if you like this guest, consider checking their masterclass on our website. See in the description, there is a link that directly takes you there with also discount code. Once again, thanks so much for watching and listening to the podcast. We love what we do. I hope to see you soon on a dance floor. And what is one of the things that inspires you about Georgia, about Tbilisi, where you are based?
So it's pretty like it was always artistic place, I guess, like Berlin, because here was lots of art going on, and also in Georgia, like I would study in school, there was lots of writers, like poems and stuff like that. Lots of painters who were just living for art, and there was lots of musicians, not lots actually, but few really talented musicians in Georgia that were like pushing the boundaries, because we had no internet back then, nothing, and these people had their mind about the electronic music or the music they could make with the computer, because they would make some different music, not even electronic, but with the computer and stuff. So yeah, it was always artistic and always a place to like impress yourself, but also it was cool because people mostly in Georgia, because 90s were really rough. It was really different period, very aggressive with the people and stuff.
Politically and
Yeah.
social unrest. Yeah.
Yes, politically it was like crazy situation. I don't even know how people were surviving at that time when I hear the stories from my parents, grandparents, and these people were doing like crazy stuff in a
Yeah.
time when it was really hard. Like having earring in Georgia at that time was like crazy thing to do because you go out in the street
Yeah.
and you get knocked
Beaten
out
up.
maybe
Wow.
just because you had the earrings.
Yeah.
And after this, like everything changed, and from 2010, I think it started to like come up with the electronic music scene. There was always techno, the most popular genre to dance to in Georgia as well,
Okay.
but there was not like proper scene of techno. But since Bassiani opened up, then Khidi added up, and a few more other clubs now, it's pretty inspiring in Georgia to make
Yeah.
music because
Yeah.
there is a lot of artists around me now. Lots of my friends making good music,
Yeah.
so it's pretty inspiring to be in Georgia and interact with all these people. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's a very supportive scene. Like I've been to Georgia once, and I think what was very impressive for me was that I remember a lot of people in the crowd knew the songs, knew the
Yes,
track ideas. I was
yes.
like, what the fuck? And they were not DJs, you know. Normally DJs,
Yeah.
we do that because that we play.
Yeah,
But
of
like,
course.
People in the crowd were like, oh, this track is by, and I was
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
wow.
The thing is
Impressive.
that I see a lot of comments from Georgian people on SoundCloud,
Yes.
on YouTube. Like they are listening, they love
Yes.
this. But I think like having those quality clubs in Georgia made it happen. You know,
Yeah.
everybody now wants to be DJ as well. Like it's a world trend, I guess.
Yeah.
But in Georgia, when you go to Bassiani or Khidi, for example, and like these big clubs with the proper sound system, and you see these people playing and creating such emotion to the people, then everybody wants to be a DJ or at least a listener of this music, like very deep listener. So yeah, I mean there is not a big amount of people that actually know what they are doing there maybe,
Mhm.
but there is quite a good amount of people that know what's going on, and we really appreciate that.
Oh, so much. I mean, I've had the opportunity to interview already and meet you, Nata Noix, Irakli Yanamaste, Irakli from
Yes.
EIY, IY, lives in Berlin. Like all of them, like, you know, they have this background, they're super into music.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, you guys, all of you that I met, like, have a lot of passion for what you're doing.
Thank
I
you
think-
very much.
Yeah, it's super beautiful to see like how people care about this artistic output.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's coming from the family, I guess, because my mother's side is like fully musician, all finished conservatory, and they are playing piano. Like my grandfather is director of symphonic orchestra of Georgia.
Wow.
So
Yes.
so yeah, I mean, I was not really inspired by this, to be
Uh-huh.
honest, but yeah, I think music was into me, and in a lot of people in Georgia as well.
Yeah.
So we really become passionate about what we do. At least I can say about me, that's how it is.
Yeah. Is your family, for example, your grandfather, was he? I don't know if he's still alive. But
Yeah.
Is, yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately,
Amazing.
everybody is alive in my family right now.
Fortunately, and is he supportive of your music?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, they were always supportive.
Yeah.
But always told me, don't go with don't go with being full-time musician.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather will tell me this does not make money, you know, but he's from the music scene, which is like orchestra.
Yeah.
So orchestra gets paid together, so it's a big amount of money, I guess. So when it gets divided, I understand it cannot be big amount in Georgia. Maybe in Europe people can make living from this, and I think they do.
Mm-hmm.
But in Georgia it's a bit hard with this, unfortunately. So they would tell me have another profession, but only thing I was interested was making music.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
the school time, when I did not have to do homework or something, I just would open up my laptop and make music.
Yeah.
So that's my passion.
That's amazing. And so also the rest of your family has been supportive of you developing
Yes.
this as a career, as a
Yes.
direction. Yeah.
Now they are much happier that I'm doing good with what I was saying
Yeah.
to them. You know, like it was pretty hard times in the beginning. Like it took me a long time, like 13 years, to be here now. And of course, it was a big journey.
Yeah.
And when they looked at it, it was like, okay, this is not really working out. But I was still a kid, you know. I was improving myself, every kind of skill that music needs for you to be successful in this
Yeah.
career, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, I took time, but now they are really happy for me that they believed me as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were telling me for sure to change, but I just followed my dream, and
Yeah.
now they are really happy that I made it.
Yeah, they're more comfortable that this is actually a good choice for you. It's
Yes.
working out.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm here for 2 months
Yeah.
and just doing my thing, and yeah, it's working out. So I guess they are pretty happy with this as well.
Yeah, and they probably see you happy as well and content that you're doing
Of
what
course,
you really want.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with the life because I'm doing what I love,
Yeah.
and just enjoying what's going on around me, and
Yeah.
not wasting time doing something that I don't really want to do.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really happy for you that you
Thank
found
you.
it, pursue it. What does your week look like?
So it's funny actually. Like
Mhm.
in Georgia, it's different. Like as you know, I also stay in Germany a lot. And for example, when I stay in Germany, it's in Dortmund, and it's pretty chill there. I make music the most week, but why I love coming here and having a
Mhm.
week here is that I make music whole week because I don't have too much friends here, so
Okay.
I don't go too much out. So I'm being pretty productive when I'm in Germany.
Yeah.
But in Georgia, my week is like I'm just going out, getting inspired with all the nice emotions with friends and everything, and then maybe on the weekends I produce something. But here it's different.
Oh, it's interesting. So you tend to in Georgia, you tend to go out more during the week, and then the weekend is
Weekend
Studio.
I also go out, but I find some time during
Okay,
the
okay.
week. The thing is that like when I wake up, I just have a coffee, smoke one cigarette, have a breakfast, and then I try to start producing something if I
Yeah.
feel like. If I don't feel like, I try to check what's going on in the music industry, try to speak with some people that I have missed maybe or something.
Yeah.
And then I go out, see my friends, and just chill, you know,
Yeah.
like I like to smoke weed,
Yeah.
chill with the friends. On the weekends we go out mostly. Like lately I try to go out less because I play more gigs now, so it does not really make sense for me to be always on the parties.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it was before. Now it's changing all the time, you know. I have
Mm.
to adapt with like more gigs coming in, so my life is changing. So it's a bit confusing to be honest.
Yeah.
But
Because you have probably like you need to rest more. You're traveling, so
exactly, yeah.
Mm.
And travel is
Yeah.
never like it's planned, you know. You know how the situation here is
Yeah.
with the trains and
Yeah.
everything is like that. So I have to rest at least like 2 days after.
Yeah.
I mean 2 days. For 2 days I have to rest after I play
Traveling.
summer.
Yeah. Do you think you will get to a point where it's too much traveling? You need to then.
I mean I'm
reduce?
already there to be honest,
Already there,
but I know that I have to do
Yeah.
this. It's part of I'm actually enjoying too much, so this is like job part of our job.
Sure. Yeah, it's a job. Yeah. It's painful. part.
Otherwise we
Yeah.
enjoy, you know, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you, for example, is there a number of days or hours during the week that you want to spend in the studio?
No,
It
I
depends
just
on.
follow.
Yeah.
I just follow my mind, my mental state.
Yeah.
It's always different, so sometimes I just don't feel like doing something, but mostly
Mhm.
that's what I do.
Yeah.
If it does not work and I have a writer's block or something, I just try some different new plugins or
Mm.
different ways of putting effects on some stuff. So I'm just experimenting on
Yeah.
the days when I'm not productive.
Got it. Yeah. And do you also dedicate time to, for example, promotion, reaching out to promoters? No.
No, I never did that
Mhm.
because I always thought that when you make something good, it's like
Mm.
everywhere the same. Like, of course, you have to make some contacts.
Yeah.
You have to send your music out and everything. But I just do it because not because of my promotion. Like, also, I never sent out demos. You know,
Never,
I
yeah,
never
yeah.
sent out
Mhm.
demos. I just wanted to make friends with the people that I like the music of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if they had labels, I would just send them music to play out. not to release, you know. And then one day they would ask me, "Do you want to do a release with this track? Why not?"
Yeah.
So I'm not really doing any promotion for myself. Just doing what I feel is right, you know. Just posting whatever I feel is right for me, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't try to promote myself really.
Yeah. So most of your time, let's say, energy is spent on producing more music, getting better at producing music,
Exactly, yeah.
and then reaching out to people that you would like to interact with. You send the music. If they like it, they play it. They
Yes,
talk to you and say, "Hey, do you want to release?" Yeah.
exactly. That's how it is.
And with your label, so you release, you have your.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it a label. It's just a place where I self-release my stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's good to make money from your own music as well, because sometimes you don't get paid with the labels. So when I see that my music is selling out and people like my music and they like to play this, one day I just have an idea. Let's put out maybe today a self-release. I just do an artwork with maybe AI, because I'm not artwork guy.
Yeah.
So I just want to do it like for free by myself, you know, and just sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do mastering by myself. I do artwork.
You do
I just write a description,
Yeah.
maybe with the help of AI, but with my correct prompts or something, what I think it feels like. So I just put out the release for people to play those tracks and support me. So that's it.
Very good. And you Bandcamp for sure. I saw it on Bandcamp, but you also do Spotify, SoundCloud.
No.
Bandcamp only.
Not by myself, no.
Yeah. No. Okay. But SoundCloud, you put them on SoundCloud or
Yeah, just previews.
previews. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it leads to Bandcamp if you want to listen to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it works pretty well, to be honest. I'm really thankful to everybody supporting my music.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to see that it works, and that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Yeah. Was there? I listened to a lot of your discography now. Was there ever a track that you didn't want to release and then you decided to release it and it worked out? People really liked.
I never released something I did not want to release, but there was one track, like back then in the beginning days of my techno days, called Self Recognition Through Another Person.
Okay.
And this track, when I first made it, in the process I really liked it, but when I finished, I didn't really like it. But then Jana Master told me, wow, this track is really nice. And I told him I actually don't like this track. And he told me, you have to release this track. And then I released, and at that time it was like my most known track and people would really enjoy. But I did not really expect this, because it was like just 9-channel track. But yeah, I mean, back then I was like more about more channels and stuff. And this was just delusional, you know. You just need the right mindset. You just need to know what you are doing, and then you might make, like, with 5 channels, a very good track if you have a right idea. So
For sure. Like Daft Punk.
yeah,
Always like
basic channel.
basic channel through.
Yeah, just dubby stuff and
Yeah.
really easy, minimalistic, but very hard as well to make.
Yeah. Very hard to make. Like the least you want to put, the kind of, it's hard to actually make it work.
Yeah, I mean, with the techno as well, people, a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, making techno is so easy." That's what I was also thinking when I was making dubstep, you know, because dubstep looked way more complex for me than techno. But then when you start doing it, you realize this is so much about mixdown, and this is like, you have to make it perfect, you know, if you want it to sound good. So it took a lot of time, like 5-6 years for me to get where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But now I feel happy with my sound, so I'm just trying to improve every day if it's possible.
Yeah.
If not, every month.
Yeah, for sure. What is the? How do you measure whether you're getting better? Is it how the track sound technically?
So yeah, I mean, like sometimes it's idea that I'm lacking. Sometimes, like with mixdowns, I can say my ears are now trained to sound exactly like I want to sound, and I produce with headphones, so I don't have any acoustic issues or something. So I know how my track sounds, you know. Otherwise, yeah, sometimes the idea is lacking, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to improve the idea. Like my tracks mostly are tools, but also going somewhere, telling a story, I guess. Because I like to make it very dance floor, but also deep with some kind of idea. So, yeah, I'm trying to improve, not even trying to improve something, but try to find a new way to add into my sound, you know? I don't know if it's
Yeah,
sounds correct, but
I think
you
I'm
understand.
getting it. So it's essentially to get closer to what you're feeling and
Yeah.
to your idea of what music is for
Yes,
you,
yes,
right?
yes.
Do you feel now you have it? Like, let's say, out of 10 tracks you make, most of them are really like Uväll
Yeah, I mean
tracks?
everything I finish
Mm.
will be released because I
Yeah.
don't finish a track that I think is not going to work for me.
Yeah.
Because I see in the process this is not working for me, then I just start a new one.
Got it. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you finish a lot of music fast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean if it works, maximum next day I'm gonna finish.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you move on to the next one. You don't, but do you open multiple projects at the same time, or are you going one?
No, just one.
Okay.
But can be 2 or 3, and then if they sound similar, because what I like to do is I never start track from scratch,
Mm.
because then I lose my value of the mix down that I have
Interesting.
in many things, you know, because I made a lot of samples by myself. Maybe I made stamps, and also I recently discovered actually that from your project you can take something like when you are in the sample library, you can take, for example, Kik and put it, and it will be exactly with the same effects and everything.
Yeah.
So I just use my own sounds and trying to resample them. Like
Mhm.
I don't resample Kiks, for example, for sure, because then they sound somewhat that I don't want to.
Mhm.
But mostly I resample my synths.
Yeah.
Maybe you have heard like 5 tracks with the same synth, but you would never tell that it's the same synth or
So,
something. So
The bass synth or the actual synth is the
Everything.
same, but then you process it differently.
yeah. Sometimes the bass line is like low end is the same, but I always change the starting
Yeah.
points of the bass line, and yeah, it sounds different always.
Yeah.
I have heard it from many other artists as well. Like you just need to change the places of where it starts, like the loops, because I always make loops of what I'm working with. Because before I had a bad laptop, and this made my work process like resample everything right in the audio, so you don't get too much CPU or something. And now I don't care about this, but
Yeah.
I still have the same workflow, which works pretty well because I like resampling a lot.
Very interesting.
And the thing is that like synthesizers that I use, like VSTs, they don't have too much you can do with them, like not too much, you know. They all have the limits. So what I like with the resampling is that you just put it in a sampler, for example, and just twist it with some
Yeah.
stuff, and it sounds totally different.
Yeah, it does. And do you resample also, and then you take loops without putting into an instrument? So you just take a loop and then you change.
Yes,
Yeah.
sometimes I put it in a sampler, sometimes I just put the loop because it works this way better. Yeah, it's just experimenting through the process, and that's what I go with. I'm just trying out some stuff.
Yeah. And do you work, let's say you do track by track, or you work as EP, for example?
Yeah, so I used to work as like track by track, but lately I got asked to do an EP for a label that I really am happy to do it for, and I didn't have any inspiration at that time because I did many tracks before, and I was like, okay, what should I do now? And then I get this message, and I get really inspired to do something.
Yeah.
So in few days I close an EP.
Very
But
cool.
it was done as an EP. And now I also work like this way, just making EP for myself in the same sound, for example, or just like that. But I used to work track by track, and I
Okay.
still work like that. Sometimes I don't feel like doing an EP.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes it's good to give yourself some kind of direction and work this way, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting. And, I mean, of course, now you have the flexibility. So, you know, you can do the full EP, full project. Today I was watching a video by coincidence on Beatles and how they recorded stuff.
Yeah.
And like I was amazed. One of the most important albums, I forgot which one, but it was recorded in 24 hours. And the reason is that they only had they couldn't pay for recording studios.
Yeah.
It was one of the first albums that were not known.
I see.
They were like, we need to fucking do this thing. We only have 24 hours. We cannot pay for the next day. And they stayed in studio overnight. They recorded like 11 tracks, made like an album in 24 hours.
Yeah.
I think there's a beauty about that because then the tracks, like you were saying, they're of resampling from the pure stuff, like you have some kind of color palette. They're consistent.
Yeah, that's why I always start from some kind of project of mine, because I like to live the same dynamics because I trust those dynamics. I have played my tracks and I know this work. And when I change something, even when you change your compressor, it sounds different. And you don't know if it's going to work as perfect as before or no. And now I'm doing this because I'm a bit bored of what I was getting as a result before, you know,
Right.
because I made enough tracks with the same dynamics. Now let's try some different compressors, saturation, and stuff. And yeah, it's good to have the same mindset and do something really quickly. And that's why I try to finish tracks like in 1 day or 2 days, or maybe the same day that I started, because maybe it gets cheesy for me in few days. And I don't want to finish anymore. So I prefer to just finish. And if I don't like, I'm not gonna send it to anybody.
For sure. And I think also it's important to trust your initial idea. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but it's important that you put it there as much as
it's
fast as
important
possible.
also to have like really nice producer friends around you. Can be also DJs only, but they have right mindset. So you send your music there and they give you right feedback, and then you know what's going on. So this improved my self-confidence as well when I send these tracks to some people that I really adore, and then they would tell me, okay, this sounds good, and the next one sounded good, next one they played, okay, now I know that I'm doing good. So now I know my ears as well, I trust them, so I don't send it out too much anymore. So I just trust these few people that I'm gonna trust in the future as well.
Do you send them finished tracks or just before
I always finish. Like the friends, like my Georgian friends that I normally speak to, I like to do the voice messages, you know. I just send the track as a voice message as it's possible to do, and they just give me feedback if it's good or no, and then I continue working on it.
Okay, but technical feedback or like let's say I like this track, emotional feedback.
Mostly it's like that.
I like
but
it. But
sometimes there is something off that I cannot hear because I also smoke weed, so I like to smoke within the process as well. So sometimes it's confusing. Like if you also smoke, maybe you know that.
I don't know.
Okay, so the thing is that sometimes your ears are not the same with the weed. Like, it's like when you are producing in the night and it feels like it's really good, and then you wake up in the morning and it's not good. So it was the same with the weed as well. So sometimes I don't do something great, so they have to tell me this is not great. And then
it confuses you. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yes.
Have you figured out if there is other things that put you in a state of inspiration?
Just parties.
Parties?
A good party can give me a very good inspiration. Like, can be just normal club, not Basigani Berghain or something like crazy, but when the vibe is there, when the music was really good, and what inspires me the most is hearing the music that I don't know, because I stay up to date with everything, I guess. I get a lot of music from my producer friends, so sometimes I'm lacking the interest in the old tracks at the clubs, you know, because I have heard them many times, so I'm not surprised anymore. But sometimes I hear something, like maybe at least one track that is like really inspiring me, because I have no idea who this is from. I have some ideas who this is from, but I'm wondering, and then I record it on my phone so I can listen to it later as well. And I also like to make recordings from the parties on the phones. Because it's a different thing, you know, like you don't hear the low end, you don't hear the high end perfectly, you just hear the vibe, you just hear the groove. So it's really inspiring for me.
Because it reminds you of the party, for example, you're home.
I would say it gives me an idea for the groove or something to go with my new track or something, you know. And of course, reminds me of the party as well, but mostly inspiration in my music would be this groove. I want to find some new groove, you know, something that I have not done before, or somebody has not done before, and it's not very common in our scene or something. So,
And so most of your inspiration seems to come from techno clubs, right? Techno parties. Do you also draw inspiration from something completely different?
So, through my whole life, I was listening to many different types of music, and of course, I can say there is some inspiration from dubstep, some from hip hop. some from the other genres that I listen to. But lately, I like to get inspired from techno. Like
Yeah.
since I started listening to techno, this music is like when you get some kind of injection and you are
Yeah.
injected with this thing, and it's just very inspiring for you.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that there is all kinds of mood in techno, so I don't really need to listen to any other thing
Yeah.
to keep myself with the joy from the music, I guess, or something like that. So yeah, I get a lot of inspiration mostly from techno, but there is some stuff that is inspiring me from the other genres for
From other
sure.
genres, yeah.
Yeah.
And do you, for example, ever re-listen to your own music and then get inspiration from your previous tracks?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I also like to do. I listen to my tracks a lot because they are inspiring me. Because as a lot of people tell me, I have my own sound now. So when I have my own sound, I like to get inspiration from myself, because the thing is, like, how I came up with my own sound is that I had many inspirators as an artist, and then I just took something from there, something from there, something from there, and just put them together.
Yes.
And it came out something my own. You know, I don't think it's something new, but it's something my own. So
For
that's
sure.
what I like.
Having references and
Sorry?
yeah, you had references of things that you liked from different
Yes.
places, and then you made it your own. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was lots of phases of technosis. I mean, techno scene. In 2017, it was different. Then it was different. So you know, it's
Yeah.
changing all the time. And yeah, like there was, for example, inspiration from Will and Cravo. They were doing really like sick low end, and I wanted to recreate that, but I did not want to put the same stuff
Yeah.
they were putting on the mids. So I took an inspiration from somebody else, maybe from Markal, with the rides, for example, with some scenes, the way he was answer a question and answering with the scenes, and like, yeah, there is like maybe 10 artists that were inspiring me. I don't want to not mention somebody, so I'm not gonna continue mentioning them. And yeah, I just put them together and it became something Uväll, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super interesting, and I think it's something we had with our son. We did let's say course with Face with Ashley,
Yeah.
and he was saying a lot about this. The course was about, he was explaining how to define your own, find your own voice, musical
Yes.
voice, and he was saying the same thing. Like, just find something that somehow triggers you and really speaks to you. Whatever place it is, it can be music, can be another music, can be art, and then figure out a way to kind of remix it and mix
Yeah,
it together
yeah.
with the other things,
Yeah.
which I think is super interesting.
Yeah,
Because
he
it-
has done a lot of different types of music
Yeah.
as well, so
Fuck. Yeah.
he can say that.
Yeah.
I could not say that at this moment, but yeah, he can say that for sure.
Yeah. If you were to define your music in 3 words, how would you describe it?
Intimate, because I like this intimate vibe in techno very much, and it was always like that. Deep and kind of aggressive. Aggressive
Intimate,
in a
deep,
way,
aggressive.
like not in a bad negative way, but like when you are at the club and you just want to just dance your ass off.
Yeah.
Aggressive in this way, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what I like with my music. Like, it's a dance floor stuff with the intimate deep vibes.
Yeah. How would you describe what this music makes you feel?
Exactly the same
Yeah.
how I explained my music, to be honest. Like, when I'm making music at home, if I'm dancing like this, because I don't have a proper studio, I just produce with my laptop and the headphones, so I can maybe like lay down there and just make music. But if my head is going like this, and if it makes me do this, then I feel like, okay, this is the vibe and this is what I enjoy, and let's continue doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. And yeah, do you feel it both when you listen to other people's music, you go to a club, and when you make your own music?
Yes, that's what I like, but it took me a really long time. You know, some people will think maybe that I'm way too confident now, but 13 years is a lot of time to
produce, yeah.
work with the music,
Wow.
and now I can say that I understand what I want. I'm doing something I want to do, so yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it is.
What is one of your tracks that you feel particularly connected to, and why?
So I actually would not say one track only. Like, when I started to come up with this, like in 2022 with my name, At that time, all the tracks that I produced were kind of emotional to me, and I think everybody can see that. A lot of people have told me like this emotion that you put in this track, I can feel it as well. And I think this was a really hard time of my life, when I was going through a period when I didn't know if I wanted to do only music, if I was doing right thing or no. So many things like relationships and lots of things were going wrong. I was also working at that time, so it was quite rough. And like after I decided to stop working at a job, and then I just started making music. And after this, whatever I made in this period are really close to me, and will always remember this vibe. So like the EP that I released on Canticle Records, it's like really emotional to me, and some period like that, you know. And nowadays, like I don't find that much emotion in my music, because sometimes I'm making something that is like going to work, you know, and because I'm also making music for me to play later on the weekend. So sometimes there is not that much emotion anymore, but sometimes it comes again, and I like to put the emotion inside, but it cannot be always the same, I guess.
Yeah, especially if you're doing, like you do, a lot of tracks and a lot of music, and sometimes, as you said, it's functional, you just want something to play.
Exactly.
As
I
well,
just want to make tool for myself, I guess.
Yeah. Do you feel in the moment you're producing, are you aware? Is this very emotional? It's coming from a feeling, from this feeling?
Yeah, because I really have this emotion, you know, and this is just this is me putting this emotion into the music. So if you feel like this is some kind of like depressed track or something, I was really depressed at that time, so that's why it's a bit depressed. But I don't take depression too seriously. It's just something that I go through. Otherwise, I'm a happy guy because I have everything going well right now. So I cannot complain too much, but sometimes things happen. So
we are humans, so it's part of it being depressed.
Part of our life.
Exactly.
But I actually enjoy this time. Being depressed is one of the best times for the artist, in my opinion, because then when you are not depressed, you just go out a lot, you enjoy your life, and you don't care about music that much. So depression is quite good if you look at it in the right way.
For sure, and there's you reminded me of, there's a very famous Italian artist that eventually died in a very weird way, like apparently was killed, and it's very famous. And this guy was interviewed once, and then the interviewer is asking him like, why like your music sounds so depressed, like so angry and painful? It's like, because when I'm happy I go out. I don't record that shit.
Yeah. I can relate to that. I can relate to that.
Yeah, it makes
but
a lot of sense.
When I'm depressed, I go out a lot as well.
Yeah.
Because I need to connect with people. I'm not sharing too much about my depression, to be honest, but just having good times with my friends and family, it takes it away, you know.
Yeah. Like in this moment, do you have an artist that you look at?
Up to?
Yeah, up to.
Look up to? I look up to a few artists for sure, but the thing is that like now I believe myself, and I look up to myself more nowadays than other people. But of course there are some artists, like I have worked with Mike Rothead, which I'm really excited about, and later everybody will see the project. And I'm really looking up to him because he's such a nice, chill person. Does not make you feel that he's been around for a long time and has a big experience. So I'm definitely looking up to him because he is an icon for me. And many other artists that are in the techno scene that are like people that I look up to. But I would say, I'm just living my life now, just trying to understand what's going on, getting confused a lot. So
looking inward.
Looking
yourself.
Inside myself, like trying to read myself mostly.
That's super interesting. And talking about DJing, now you've been DJing a lot of gigs, and this is gonna probably increase more and more with time.
Hopefully.
I'm sure. And what has been one of the craziest experiences you have lived so far during a DJ gig?
So the thing is that I have not had this many crazy experiences. Like I had crazy experiences with the travel, but not when DJing. But there was one experience that I just felt really uncomfortable with. It was in Czech Republic. Like gig in general was really good. Everything was really good about it. But there was one drunk guy in front of me when I was playing from the right side that was just giving me cigarette, giving me something, telling me something, and I'm like, I have to do my job. And when I'm DJing, I don't even look in the crowd because 3C DJs take a lot of time for me.
Yeah.
So I prefer to stay there, just look out in the crowd just to see what they are doing, if they are enjoying, and then I just continue what I'm doing. So this guy was really distracting me, and I just could not. I just could not ask him what he wanted, and I kind of shouted like, "What do you want?" And then he started showing me the middle fingers. And I'm like, bro, like, what did I do? I'm just doing my job here. You are distracting me. But I've been this drunk as well at some point, so
Yeah.
I can understand.
Yeah.
This guy was not there maybe, but yeah, it was a bit crazy for me because I was trying to concentrate, and then there is one guy just giving me some things and telling me things, and I'm like,
Fuck.
please,
Yeah.
let's stop this and let me do my job, But
Yeah.
otherwise, not really any crazy experiences so far because it was like maybe 2 years that I'm DJing the gigs frequently. Before it was like 5 times a year or something.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, not too much experiences to be honest.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not crazy stuff.
But it will come, I guess, right?
And when you DJ, how do you feel compared to when you produce music?
So DJing for me is like very big part of techno scene. And if my music does not work on the dance floor, then I don't know what I'm doing this for.
Yeah.
So it's pretty different from each other. Both are really different from each other, but really related as well because of the tempo, because of the keys and the stuff. So I would say one is just making another,
Yeah. They're building on top on each other. Yeah.
They just work with each other. Like,
Yeah.
if I don't hear the DJ says, then I don't get inspired only from the music anymore. And if I don't produce, then I don't want to DJ as well, maybe.
Yeah. Does it happen to you that, for example, you have something breaks the circuit, like you are uninspired, you have writer's block?
Yeah. It would happen before, like 2-3 years ago, much more, when I was not confident with my sound and I could not really mix down it perfectly. Like, what I realized, techno is mostly about the mix down because you can make all kinds of ideas sound good when you can mix down them properly. So sometimes it just doesn't work, Mostly it's just the idea thing. Otherwise, I can mix it down, but I just don't like it. So what I do in this times is I just go out, try to go listen to somebody. Like, I'm really lucky to be living in Tbilisi and having Bassiani and Khidi like in 20 minutes out of my home maximum.
Yeah.
So I just go there, listen to the DJs that are inspiring me and get inspired, try again. If it does not work, then I'm gonna give it more time. I'm just not stressing myself anymore because I have lots of releases lined up.
Yeah.
So if it does not work, it does not work, and I just let it flow with the time.
For sure. Has there ever been a moment so far where you felt like, I'm gonna give up? This is like,
No.
it's not working. Never.
No. Music is such a big thing in my life. Like, I've been doing music more than half of my life actually, so I never felt like this.
Yeah.
It was just like, will I make it
Yeah.
how I want to make it, or it will be just me doing music for myself? But yeah, like, when I understood that you don't have to do it for anybody else and just do it for yourself, just enjoy what you are doing, then everybody else is going to enjoy because you are most critic to yourself, I guess. So if you feel like this is good now, I think everybody else will think it's good now because I'm not delusional anymore about my music. So yeah, that's how it is.
What made you have this belief? How did you come up with this belief in the end?
Yeah, it took a lot of time,
Yeah.
but by having such nice artists around me to give me the feedback and like, they play my music, I hear my music in Berghain, at Bassiani and clubs that I really like and adore, then I feel like, okay, now this works and now I believe myself. But yeah, it was like 10 years before I believed it.
Yeah.
So
you were one of the co-founders of Faction, an event series in Tbilisi. You do it
Yes.
at Left Bank.
yeah, we have residency for now at Left Bank in Tbilisi.
What's behind that project?
So me and my friends, Script and Gwen, came up with this idea. Like at first, it was me and Script because he's a very good friend of mine and we see each other a lot. And at that time, when we came up with this idea, I was in Dortmund at that time, and I was going back to Georgia after 3 months, and I needed something new there, you know. And we always wanted to do parties, but we did not believe in ourselves. We would have enough crowds to make it worth to do it, to book the artists from other country and everything like that. So I was just speaking to Script, and I tell him or he tells me we have to start the party, and it really felt like doing
Yeah.
it. Then we think about the name. We wanted to do something about circle, you know, like the circle of people that enjoy our sound of techno. And then we just googled like what's the nice words around circle, and I saw one example, faction, and faction sounds pretty good to me, and also fits the idea that we have with the party. So what we wanted to do is that, as there already is the lot of events and the clubs in Georgia going on, we would not come up with something new maybe,
Yeah.
or surprise people with something. But what we wanted to do is that we wanted to push artists that maybe won't play in Georgia for 1-2 years, but they are going to be playing regularly after this. So we wanted to be faster than the
Yeah.
other clubs
Uh-huh.
to support these people and show to people what these people are capable of, and yeah, also give the opportunity to the upcoming artists of Georgia. They are our friends maybe, or we know they are doing good with their stuff. And yeah, I mean, we are not putting too much idea into it, but as we started, it was like at first me and Script, then we introduced this idea to
Yeah.
Gwen, because I'm friend with Gwen for a few years as well, and Script as well. So we just came up with this idea together, then spoke to Gwen, and we all felt like doing it. So yeah, the idea for our parties is that we bring like 300, 400 people. We are not going to make it like 2000 maybe
Yeah.
in the future, but now it's not our goal. And just bring the right people inside who really enjoys this music. And so far we are having really good experience. We are really thankful for all these people coming to our parties, many tourists as well that come for the weekend and then they end up at our party. So yeah, it's going pretty well right now. We have Amoral in July,
Yeah.
and in August we have Kaiser. So I'm really quite a fan of these people. They are really good both at DJing, and I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to what they can bring to our dance floor.
Very nice. You were telling me before we started this chat like that Left Bank is a very good club.
Yes.
Like up and coming, new club. So
Yeah. It's started at the COVID period, but you want to hear more about Left Bank,
yeah,
how
yeah,
it
for
is?
sure.
So Left Bank opened up in the COVID period, as I remember, or just before it started. So it was more like a bar at first, because it has a very good outdoor place, and there was no proper dance floor before. There was just one room, which is now Space One, and it's like a different. It's like there is lots of books. You can chill there. You can do your job there. You can listen to some vinyl. You can buy some vinyl, and there is like sessions in this Space One, but it's not like proper night or
Yeah.
something, you know, just before the party, few hours before the party they do it. Then there is a very good outdoor space where you can drink, speak to people, smoke, or whatever you want to do. And then there is a space too where we host our parties, and it's just like a proper club room.
Yeah.
And actually, Left Bank didn't open up as a techno club, so that's why we are happy to do it at Left Bank.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, Bassiani and Hidi are already doing techno parties there. So it would not make sense for us to go to them and ask them if we could do parties there, because it already
It works
happens.
already, yeah.
So yeah, we just went to Left Bank people, which are really friendly and which were like, yeah, let's try it out. If it works, then we are going to continue. So that's how it worked out. We just spoke to
Yeah.
them. We just started doing it. Like we just started in December last year.
Yeah, 2023. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're
Yeah.
coming up to a year.
And now
Yeah.
we have like fourth and fifth party coming up. So
Very cool. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah.
thank you very much.
And you're also involved, I read in your bio, like involved in Anima in Berlin.
Yes.
So you are one of the co-residents of Anima.
Yeah,
so
I just became like 1 month ago.
yeah. Congrats as well.
Thank
for
you
that.
very much.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be a part of Berlin Collective for
Yeah.
sure. And they are doing pretty well. Like I've been seeing them doing pretty well before I joined them. And first time when I got booking from them, I was like, oh, nice. These people know me. I mean, the thing is that they used to support me, and I was actually at their first party just by accident. I did not know that it was Anima party or something. I was just my first time in Berlin on New Year's Eve or something, and me and my friends wanted to go to Berghain because I wanted to check how it was,
Yeah.
but the queue did not make any sense. So at the end we ended up at Eden. And it was Anima's first party ever.
Yeah.
Then I hear my music there. Then I get to know some residents of Anima. Then I get to know Julie from Anima. It's one of the parties I play in Berlin. So I got connected with these people just one by one, you know.
Yeah,
And
independently.
Then,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
then they booked me at Watergate for their party. It came out pretty nicely. And Jinsu, who is like one of the co-founders of the Anima, we were speaking together if I wanted to become a resident because my music is exactly what Anima is pushing right now. So that was really good idea for me because I'm a Tbilisi-based artist.
Yeah.
So I would definitely be down for being a resident of Berlin party, and now they are doing pretty well in my eyes. Even if I was not doing, even if I was not a resident of theirs, I would still say this. So I'm really happy to be part of this collective, and
Very
they are
cool.
just about good times with
Yeah.
friends and
Yeah.
quality music. So that's what I'm about as well.
It's perfect, and probably you found each other in a way. Like
Definitely.
they knew your I mean, some of the residents knew your music already. They knew of you, and then for you it was a good moment to actually accept it. So
Yes. Yeah.
It's working out
For
nicely.
me, I'm taking some requests really easily, you know, like I'm not thinking too much. If it feels right, I do it.
Yeah.
If something in my mind is like, do I want to do it or no, then maybe I don't do it.
Yeah. It's either full yes or no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like it. And in terms of for example, so if you were to advise yourself 10 years ago,
Uh-huh.
in terms of yourself that is not yet confident, not yet believing my music is good or not, what would you tell to your younger self?
So, I think I was way more confident when I was younger. Then I was like in the techno since I started techno because like when you are a kid you don't understand many things, you know. And when I started I was 11. Nothing really made sense for me. I did not even know what I was doing, you know. I was just fucking around, if I can say that. So yeah, I mean, what I would say to my 10 years younger self at 14, I would just say keep going. Keep doing what you are doing and you will get there, you know. And I say this to anybody, everything takes time. Everything takes at least 10 years in my opinion to become a professional. So I say this to everybody to just keep going if they have time, you know, because some people are really on the edge with the time. I always had time for this, so I'm happy that I did not work too much for other stuff. And I just believed myself and did music. So yeah, I think I did right. And that's what I would tell anybody to just keep going and believe yourself. If you think that you are talented in something and if you feel like doing this, just do it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think because especially in these things that you never know, then it's not that you do something, you for certain get the outcome.
Yes.
You need to really enjoy it and believe in this thing that is like a long-term thing. To be able to do that when things are not working out and nobody seems to give a shit about your music or what you're doing, and maybe you get rejected a few times. You need to really believe that, you know, eventually it's gonna work out, and you would do it anyways because that's what you love doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the dubstep, being a dubstep producer was a good experience because I released big labels in dubstep as well. I mean, like, there is one label, Smog Records, which is from 12 Planet, which is like one of the biggest dubstep names from the 2010s or something.
Mm-hmm.
I released one track there. So, what I wanted to say by this, I need to think now.
Mm-hmm. You were saying that you released on big labels when you were doing dubstep
Yeah,
before
yeah.
techno.
Experience of dubstep really helped me in techno to just do things right and just don't do things to stress me out, you know.
Mm.
I was just, as I mentioned before, I never sent out demos because I also don't like, I did not like doing things for labels, you know. I would not do music for a label. I would do music that I felt like doing, and then it fits the label, I would do it for
Yeah.
sure. So I was just not stressing out myself, just doing until 18. My parents would support me after this as well, but less because I have two younger sisters as well, so they need more support. So after 18, it was quite confusing time when I realized I have to make money as well and I have to
Yeah.
make music as well. So for a few years, it was a bit strange, confusing, depressive time.
Mhm.
Also, many other things happening in my life. So I felt like not giving up, but it was confusing, man.
Yes.
So yeah, that's how I just kept going, and with all this experience that I had, it really helped me. So I came up easier than I could, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, this teaches you something. It teaches you also like you learn a bit about yourself, how you work, and it certainly helps the second time you're doing the same process in techno. You are approaching a new industry, a new type of people.
Yeah, it's always like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I approached few different genres, so it's like I knew what I was going to go through. But
Yeah.
techno is like, for me, is like the music, or maybe it's because in Georgia there is a good techno scene.
Yeah.
For me, techno is a music which has like pretty, pretty good scene with people connecting with each other. You know,
Mhm.
like making a lot of friends with the musicians and stuff, which would not happen with the other genres. So for me, techno just felt like doing what I want to do, and
Yeah.
it just worked out, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It felt like right.
Yeah.
For you. Yeah. And do you have? So I have a couple of questions I wanted to ask you. One is for an artist that is approaching the same journey and they want to be a professional DJ and producer. What could be a way for them to stand out to make sure that the music gets in front of the right people?
yeah, I mean, in my opinion, how it's right and how it should be done is that you just need to work on the music a lot, work on your skills a lot, and just try to connect with the right people with the same mindset as yours, and these people will understand you and try to help you to come up. So to stand out, it takes time, because techno is not like, it's 4x4 music, you know. We have always this
Yeah.
static kick going on, but yeah, I mean, then you just need to come up with some things that will be different from somebody else, I guess. And this way, people notice. People
Yeah.
notice, and bigger artists notice, and they start support you. And crowd, people that listen to techno music, they notice that these people are supporting these artists, so they are going through their music more. So this way, like, if you are doing something right, then you will stand out for sure, and you will get more recognition than some other artists, which are, I understand as well, they need to go through like a lot of years to stand out with the music, because it's really hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
techno is a music that stands on 909 mostly, and yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's really hard, but you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. And in terms of, for example, talking about the broader techno scene today, Georgia, Germany, or general other cultures, like, what do you think about inclusivity? Do you think it's a very inclusive scene for newcomers, for people who are not?
Yeah, I mean, it can be. It
Yeah.
can be, you know. Some people are maybe scared of going to Berghain because there is some crazy things going on inside. So I have heard it from many people that can be like really intense sometimes. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that that's how it is.
Yeah.
That's what we love about techno.
Yeah.
Also, house scene is like that, you know, quite inclusive, and this is where it's coming from. It's coming from these rules, so it has to be like that. And I like how it is, you know, like all kinds of different people inside one club becoming with the same idea, same dance moves. Yeah, I mean it's beautiful for me, you know, like we are just connecting with our heads, and does not matter who you are, what you do in your life. We are all the same, so we are just enjoying the party. I have never had a bad experience at the club, just too crowded, you know, maybe sometimes, and you cannot enjoy. Otherwise, it was always good times and always the understanding. And that's what I loved about Georgian scene, that Georgian people mostly are really caring.
Yeah.
And in the clubs, I would see, like, if somebody was doing bad, they were, like, directly hugging or taking care and stuff. So that's what I like, you know, taking care of each other. If somebody has an issue, they take care of you. There is also very good security, so they know what they are doing. And yeah, it's pretty much safe space. Like in Georgia, they don't understand this because we had really rough times. I also understand the older generation, you know, because they were in somewhere really different. And in 10 years, we are in a world where everything is like normalized, you know, and these people don't understand. And the clubs are really safe space for all kinds of people to enjoy the party and enjoy themselves, and that's it.
Yeah, it's true. I think music has this power of like bringing people together and kind of normalizing, making people feel they can be part of something independently from who they are, who they happen to be, where they come from, in whatever way. Yeah.
And what I love about the music is that you can always say with their clothing style what kind of music they listen to as well, you know?
Mostly, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
In
it does
Berlin.
not work, but yeah, in Tbilisi as well.
Yeah.
Like Tbilisi is
Yeah.
becoming like Berlin, but we are still somewhere else. So it can never be like Berlin, but something our own.
Yeah. So there is a Bassiani style now, yeah? So it's becoming similar, like...
Yes, I mean, like, it used to be more into style and stuff back then, because after COVID, everybody's saying that things change, and it has really changed everywhere. I don't know about Berlin because I came here after COVID, and in general with the European scene, but what I can say about Georgian scene, which I was always part of, was much more about style, and because the door was much more strict back then.
Really?
Now,
in Georgia, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I don't know, maybe something changed, but yeah, like, it's not that stylish anymore, but people still enjoy the music, and they create the crazy vibe on the dance floor, so that's what we are all about, you know.
Yeah.
And they are going to get the vibe from us, from the people that have been going there for more years than them. So I see they are being inspired by this. I see a lot of people changed after going to clubs, you know, change their style, the aesthetics and stuff. So I like those changes. I have seen a lot of aggressive people, because there was a lot of aggressive people from my age as well, from the school and stuff. Then they went to clubs and they became really chill and looked at the life in a different way. So for Georgia, it was really necessary to change people's mindset, because it was quite rough. Now it's much more European than something rough.
Yeah, it seems like it brought a lot of good things to the country, or to in general, to people, to young people as well, like a healthy way to connect with others, to enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, like, my sister is 17 years old. She just finished school. But last few years, when I got more like known in Georgia as an artist, she would tell me, my classmates know you, that you want to go to Bassiani when they finish school. And I mean, it's good, you know, like when they have this desire of going there, and they also try to discover what is the right way to go there. I mean, at first everybody is trying, you know, but then you become authentic with this as well, because at first you have to try. So that's what I like, seeing the people, like younger people, interested into nightlife. I mean, it can be crucial as well for some people, but I hope they use it in the right way, and it can be really, really useful experience going to clubs on the weekends, because when I hit hard times, when I went out, feel like different person, you know.
Yeah, it helps you recharge as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I'm happy that Georgian new generation are into nightlife. I just hope they use it in the right way and don't push themselves too much, so we can have a good crowd and enjoy
and
the
continues.
parties for a long time.
Yeah. And Irakli, I wanted to ask you some final questions before we wrap up. And what drives you in life?
Music.
Yeah.
Techno drives me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just listen to techno and it drives me.
Yeah.
I can go 9 mountains after
Yeah.
or something with my headphones.
it really looks like, from how you talk about it, like it feels like you have such a deep connection, and it gives you joy and
Definitely.
gives you energy. Yeah.
Goosebumps here,
Yeah.
sometimes such goosebumps. I'm like, wow.
That's beautiful.
Like pure ecstasy in the head.
Yeah. From music, it's it's there. So
Yeah.
good.
That's what I love.
Yeah. If you were to choose one closing track for the rest of your life, that is gonna be your final track for the next 10 years, whatever, which one would you choose?
So I finished with this track for the first time at Bassiani. On the second time when I played there, I finished with Functions, voice print reprisal. So,
Wow, so good.
like it's
From
such
Incubation, from the
sorry.
from the album on 2013 on Osgoodton, the
Yes,
Incubation.
the old one.
Yeah.
So lately I went back to the big favorites of mine because there was some time I was more into playing unreleased music, But it also felt like doing it because there is lots of people sending me music that fits my style.
Yeah.
So why not? I can play unreleased music and surprise people. But like that's 1 hour thing in my opinion. And when you play in the club, I like to go older generation, newer generation, and just try to stay with the same dynamic. But and this track, when I just listened to this, I remembered how much I loved this track on the first time I heard it,
Yeah.
It was one of the first tracks maybe that made me fall in love to what proper techno is, and just this vibe, like magical vibe that is for these big clubs and warehouses, and it really felt right, and I would definitely close every party with this track, and maybe I close.
Yeah, super cool. I love that album, but also that track too.
Definitely
So
a
good.
journey.
Yeah. And can you sing aloud one of your latest tracks?
No. Can we leave this question out?
Yeah,
I
we can leave it
remembered,
out,
I tried,
Yeah.
but I
No
think
worries,
it's
no worries.
really, really hard. Really hard to
It's
sing it
hard,
out.
yeah. It's
I'm
hard.
sorry, bro.
Also because with techno, not having lyrics, like what are you gonna sing? Like the boom,
Yeah,
boom, boom.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It will be just maybe another techno track that I sing and not my track, so I prefer to leave it out.
We can get it out, of course.
Yeah.
And another question that I wanted to ask you is, would you rather play in front of 10,000 strangers that you cannot connect with, or 20 friends, close friends?
Of course, 20 friends.
Yeah.
If they don't want to connect with me, these 10,000 people or 1,000 people, then of course, 20 people, and I have done it many times. I don't do after parties, to be honest, because this is not a thing in Georgia. We just have long parties and then we go home. But when I came here, I discovered this after party thing. So playing for these people, like 20 people at the home with 2 CDJs, just
cool.
maybe not even a mixer that I want to play with, but it's just a vibe thing,
Yeah.
And these memories stay with me for a long time, maybe longer than some of the parties that were like with a lot of people. So definitely I prefer to play less crowd and connect with them and have the most fun than just stand like maybe 20 meters how to say 20 meters difference from the crowd and don't even make any connection.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a different type.
It's just a thing that that these people are listening to you there, otherwise no connection made, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to pick up like on how they're feeling, and then as you were saying before we started the interview, like it's nice when you actually can see emotions on people.
Of course, and that's what we do at our party. I think I have not mentioned it in the interview. We had the screens in left bank, and we have really good light guy, Guga, who is really talented and knows what we like to do, and we just add screens, so we give a new life to left bank.
Yeah.
And it's our party, and that's what we do, and I really like to connect with people lately. I used to enjoy these dark dungeon parties or something like that, But nowadays, also the music that I play is not really too dark, you know.
Mhm.
I like dark vibes, always dark vibes with my music and deep vibes, but not dark with the clubs, you know. Like
Yeah.
I like to see the faces, I like to make the connection with the people, so it's much more comfy for me, to be honest.
Yeah, it's interesting, and you connect more. I think it's very much more connected.
Definitely.
Yeah. If you had a club, you need to name it. Give it a name. What name would you give to the club?
I would take two street names and just
Merge them.
yeah, just measure them together.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The streets that like cross the club.
I don't
Yeah.
know where this idea comes from, but
Maybe Berghain.
yeah,
Or-
of course. That's how I was joking,
Yeah.
you know, like Berghain, and I would just take two street names which are like crossing this club or something, and call it. But I really like how Georgian clubs are approaching with the names. Like
Yeah.
Bassiani, for example, is like the war was a war in like 1,000 years ago. I
Okay.
don't want to be mistaken with the exact year, so it was 1,000 years ago, and it was called Bassiani War. And then Bassiani made it like Bassiani, because Bassiani would mean like with a lot of bass, and also the name of the war. And
Okay.
also Khidi is like under the bridge, and Khidi means bridge.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean like they sound pretty aesthetic for
Yes. Yeah.
me as well, because sometimes some Georgian things I cannot really listen to Georgian songs many times because they are quite cringe for me. I don't know why. Maybe Georgian is not really good sounding for me as a Georgian. For you, maybe it will sound better.
Yeah.
I don't know. So these names are really well done, and
Yeah.
I don't really have any idea what I would call the club that I would have. I take time with the names and everything,
Yeah.
but yeah, something with the two street names.
Yeah.
I guess.
Combination, location.
Yes.
And one question: who is one artist? Could be dead or alive, DJ, producer, or non-musician. You would spend 1 week on a deserted island with.
So, as I have already mentioned this person, and I also spent some time with him, just chilling, you know, not doing anything.
I think I know
Was
it.
Mike
Yeah.
Rothead, and like as I mentioned, we both love weed. We just like chilling, speaking a lot about music, and we have the same mindset. And yeah, I would love to spend 1 week again with him, and also his girlfriend Sarah is a great person. So I really enjoyed spending time with them, and I would spend another 1 week with them
Yeah.
for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What is one project you are very excited about for the next future?
So I have to mention this guy again
No.
because
Mike.
I don't want to mention the other projects that I have going on right now. I just would say that I have 2 solo EPs coming out this year, and the one project that I'm really happy about is that like I would never see this coming, but it came up really quickly, and we really made it work really quickly. Was with Rodhead, and this EP is like almost done. We have to still go through it, and we'll do soon, and then it will come to the life and will be released.
Yeah, well
So,
done. Looking forward to hearing it.
Thank
That's
you very
on,
much.
on
man.
Mike's label, Weisenberg.
Of
yeah.
course,
Yeah. Super cool.
of course.
Very, very nice. And we have a closing tradition for Almost Sound. We ask everybody to tell us what is one question we should ask the next guest.
I would maybe interested in what they think, like where techno scene will be in 10 years.
Okay.
Because for me, techno is such a music that I think it will never go away, you know? Because it's like very intelligent dance music, which now my grandfather also enjoys, you know? And my mother also enjoys, and they would not enjoy many other music that I did before. But with techno, I give my headphones to my mom, and then she starts dancing directly, and I'm like,
Very nice.
wow,
Okay.
this is perfect. So I think it will never fade away. It will be always with us, maybe more down sometimes, maybe more up. But yeah, I'm curious what your next guests would think
would say.
of this question.
Very cool. And there's a question for you from one of the previous guests, which is, how are you feeling right now, but really deeply?
So I'm really tired right now as I had to
The
travel.
train. Yeah.
And it's pretty hot day, but in general with life I'm pretty chill, feeling really good. I'm happy with what's going on. I have every favorite person around me, so I cannot complain about anything.
Yeah.
I just want to continue this journey and see what goes on.
Very cool. I'm very happy for you. I'm happy to hear this.
Thank you very much.
Irakli, this has been a pleasure. Thank you for being here with us.
For me as well, it just felt like a normal conversation that I do with the artists. So thanks for having me here. It was a pleasure for me as well.
Amazing, and thank you, and looking forward to hearing more of your music.
Likewise, man.
Cheers.